Hey everybody, welcome back to Black and Rowdy Show. Hey, good to see everybody. So this show is going to be a little bit more light, more fun, more, it's going to be interesting, all right? And we're going to throw out some code names, and I think you're going to catch those code names pretty quickly and easily. We're going to be talking about dating. Okay, there's going to be some interesting questions that were sent in from the audience. And some of them are really interesting, and I think it'll get the conversation really going. So, without further ado, did I say that right? Probably not. Hi, everybody. Unmute yourself and put on your video if you like. You don't have to, obviously. Hey.
Hello.
Hi.
So thanks for coming. I thought we could all kind of just talk about, dating or whatever. And like I said, just put the one in the chat if you'd like to talk. For now, just mute yourself just so we can hear everybody and, everybody's response. Unfortunately, we're missing a few people, but it's all right. We'll just, continue on. We're going to have a great conversation. So the first question, first is a scenario, all right? So listen to the scenario that somebody came up with. They said if somebody walks up to you, you're at a bar, right? You're by yourself, and this person walks up. Initially, you are not interested in this person, right? It could be the hair, it could be the looks, it could just be whatever. You're just not interested, right? But the person's nice, and they offer you a drink. Do you accept the drink? Yes or no? Why would you accept the drink? And we'll just go from there. And there's been some controversy behind that, and we'll go into that a little bit. So, Arian, why don't you go ahead and start us off?
In my case, I would say yes. I would accept a drink. I would just do it for the simple fact of having a conversation. You never know where the conversation may go. Mm-hmm. So if they give off good vibes, good energy, let's roll with it. I think from the conversation, you can decide if, okay, do I want this to go anywhere further? Maybe I might want to buy the next drink. You don't know. So yeah, I would accept the drink ultimately.
Okay. I think I would accept the drink too, just because, initially I'm not interested in the person, but it doesn't mean that the conversation won't get me interested, right? Because It's not always about the physical, right? Like sometimes the person's like, you're not really interested because the physical, you're not really feeling them, but the personality blows you away and you're like, oh, okay, I kind of like this person as you're drinking the drink. Now, the controversy is this, and we've talked about this before off camera, and it kind of turned into an argument. Not really, but kind of. It was about the fact one guy said that he felt like he was being used. If you are not interested in this person, why would you accept the drink? And we kept going back and forth with this person about the fact that it doesn't mean you're going to stay not interested. You could there's a possibility you might be interested in that person, right? Eventually, as you're, getting to know that person. So I just thought, this person felt very strongly, and he was like, no, you are using this person and it's not right, and he's like, how would you feel if you were used like that? And I'm like, you only buy one drink and that's it. Right? So it was just a lot of drama. But so that was kind of the thing there. Does anybody else have anything to add? Ken? Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Are you trying to say something there?
No, I think you have a good thought about what you had said. This conversation, I want to hear it.
Absolutely. So I would not accept a drink.
Tell us why you would not accept the drink.
Just because I just don't want, I don't want somebody to think that I owe them anything in the end. So it doesn't really matter if I am or am not interested.
Yeah.
Even if I'm interested in somebody, I probably still wouldn't. And then it also depends on, this is just a side note, I don't take a drink from an individual. I'll take it from the bartender, but I don't take it from the individual. So it's the same reason why when I used to go out and get crazy, I drink shots very quickly because I don't walk through the bar with them. It's just too risky. Waters, always have them, either drink them and be done or have a bottle with a lid on it.
Yeah.
So that you don't get roofie, but that's a whole other conversation. But for me, I don't want them to think I owe them something.
Yeah.
But I don't want to use any individual the way I've been used before. So my assumption when somebody comes up and starts talking to me is that they want a drink, because that's what it's been about before. So, and I've had people, literally walk up to me and say, oh, well, you need to buy me a drink. You're just over here having a good old time and I'm not enjoying myself. So why is that my problem?
Yeah, exactly.
They've got some unmitigated gall.
Yeah.
Ask me for a drink. But I just, it's something where I don't think it needs to, I really think that when you start buying things back and forth, that you need to be very careful about what's happening. Okay.
Thank you, Ken. I knew you would have a different perspective, so that's why I wanted to throw you in there. Sorry, I didn't want to
absolutely not.
But I thought you had a different perspective, and I think it's good for all different perspectives to be talking.
Absolutely.
Right? All right.
I would probably respond, I'm flattered, but no thank you.
Yeah.
But, I would be polite about it most of the time. But I don't think I would accept it, just because, like I said, I've been in those shoes and I've been used, and I've been the one where somebody pretended to be interested just to get the drink.
No, that's interesting. Pretending. Okay, that's another side of it too. Veronica had a point that I wanted to have her jump in. So go ahead. What's your guide?
I mean, okay, I buy drinks for my friends all the time, and I don't expect anything from them. So when a guy buys me a drink, I feel like I'm not obligated to be with that guy all night. He offered, and I said yes. If someone offers, I'm sorry, that's their issue.
Yeah.
I offer to buy my best friends drinks all the time. And they're like, how much should I owe you for the night? I'm like, girl, that was on me. I made you take the shot with me. So as someone who doesn't expect anything from my friends, I don't the guy needs to know that he can't expect to get laid or me to talk to him all night after he offered to buy me a drink.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that. That's a good point too. Arian, what was your?
Yeah, very good point on both of y'all as far as Ken and Veronica. I guess I was going to say, kind of tagging off of what Ken said, it would have to definitely be the intent. It wouldn't be that, because his situations are strange, meaning that's crazy that someone would just, oh, you need to buy me a drink. But I would say it would be more importantly the intent. And honestly, if someone's going to buy me a drink, I'm not expecting them to come from that bar and bring the drink to me. I'm at the bar with them too. That's nothing to where, no, safety first. Look, I'll decline a drink real fast if it looks skeptical, or even if the person is skeptical too. That's another reason why I say yes, I still would accept the drink. But that's where it comes into good vibe, good energy. If you seem a little off, we're going to politely decline and go MIA. So, nope.
All right.
I just wanted to add that in there.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you. All right. So the next question is, what's one characteristic physically you cannot stand? So if this person, it could be the same scenario or a different scenario where you see this and somebody's trying to talk to you, you're like, yeah, no. Physically, I do not like this one thing. So I'm trying to think for me, what is it? I can't remember. I'll think about it, but Veronica wants to go. So go ahead, Veronica. What's the one thing you cannot stand physically?
Beer bellies.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. But I know myself way too much. And it's like, okay, I have enough cushion, all right?
Yeah.
We need more cushion because I got it all, boo-boo.
Yeah.
So you need not to have any cushion. Sorry. I know it's double standard. I know. I've tried going out of my preference.
Yeah.
Everyone has their preference. Some guys love skinny girls, and that's all they go for, which is A-okay. I have a preference. So if they have a preference, I respect that.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. And Lauren, you're free to jump in as well. The next person is Ken. What is the one physical characteristic that you cannot stand?
A wedding ring.
Whoa. Interesting. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, a wedding ring. I cannot, that would be something that would have turned me off completely with somebody. Now granted, there's people who are bi and that kind of stuff and whatever, but I really think you have to be careful, because I definitely don't want to, I don't want to end up being in a lake somewhere.
Too much drama. I agree. Like, I didn't even think about that. That's a really, really good one.
A lot of drama.
I have seen that before too. Living in San Antonio, you have a lot of military. It's a lot of military, you know, families and guys and women all in the military. And it's a good rule of thumb to look at their hand if they're hitting on you, because I have had that happen a couple of times where a guy comes up and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna need you to step off. You're already taken, boo-boo, you know?
Right, and see, my immediate question in my situation would be, does she know and will we meet? Those are my things, because I can deal with it if she's aware.
Yeah.
And if I meet her and she knows who I am. I've been there. But I can't deal with the secret and on the side. No, I'm not doing it.
It's messy. It's completely messy. All right, Lauren, go ahead, jump in. What do you have? What's one of the physical characteristics you cannot stand?
Okay, well, I wasn't expecting that Mari moment, but yeah, like a wedding ring and stuff like that. I would obviously never hook up with somebody who was already in a relationship and, you know, showed their commitment and stuff. But as far as like physical attributes, for me, it would just be like unhygienic. Like, do they look like they haven't bathed in like a week?
Yeah, that's a good
probably not so much on that one.
No, I agree. That's a big one. A friend of mine just talked to me today about it too, about physically, just in a job interview or at work in general, you have to look put together. Like, there's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. He says, you are giving off an impression when you are not put together. And he said, if you are not put together, then what is that client gonna think when he looks at you or she looks at you? They're not gonna take you seriously. They're gonna think you're sloppy, you know, and he just married it to this. If you looking sloppy physically, your work performance is going to be sloppy. That's just the way his mindset is, and he's got it on point. It makes sense, right?
Yeah. See, exactly. And especially if somebody's hitting on you right then, and you don't even know this person, like you're not 3 months into a relationship in your PJs. They're hitting on you at the bar. If they don't look like they've showered or brushed their teeth in a long time, it's like, I'm good, thanks.
Yeah, exactly. Ariane, you want to jump in?
Okay, yes, but most of my attributes are not physical, but if I was going to go to physical, it does tie into the hand situation. For me, dirty hands, because it goes back to the hygiene. I don't know where you've been and what you've been doing. If I don't already personally know you and know that maybe you have a construction job, but at the end of the day, if we're meeting for the potential of interest at a bar anywhere, I would like to think you would have got that together before you left.
Yeah.
So I would have already been looking at the physical, which would have included what Ken said. Most definitely, the ring was a good one, but I'm also looking at, do you keep up with yourself? Yeah. And so tagging on with Lauren, but more so the hands to add on. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Definitely on the first date is like so crucial, because when on the first date, I'm looking at the clothes. I do look at the nails. I look at, is it trimmed? Mm-hmm. Are they clean? I also look at teeth. I look at hair. I look at how you treat people. That's like my biggest pet peeve, is how you treat people. If you are like nasty to the waitress or the waiter, that's a no-go for me. Or what else? I know I'm going off the physical. I did kind of throw in some physical, but to me, those things are so crucial. Like, if you're like a jerk, and I've seen it happen, where he literally was yelling at her. He was literally yelling at her because, let me just give you the scenario. It was just so bizarre. We were at the store together. He's like, we went to a restaurant, and he's like, oh, can I stop by the store? I said, yeah, sure, because we're already in the mall, whatever. We walked into, I don't know, Guess. We go in, and the lady's like, okay, she's ringing him up, right? And she's like, okay, did you want to, just normal, hey, do you want to apply for the credit card? He's like, okay, sure. She's like, oh, I'm going to need your social security card or social security number. And he just goes in. He's like, why should I have to give you my social security number? I was like, what is going on? I was like, that's part of the protocol. Like, they have to ask you that. And he just like, I was like, this isn't going to work. I'm so sorry. I don't like that. Especially something basic. Anyways, Veronica, go ahead and jump in.
Okay, so it's not inappropriate that, Ariana won't hear this, but are they shaved?
Oh,
I love you for
He's
your
okay.
That's
okay.
also important. That's very important to me. It's like if I'm well kept and trimmed,
Yeah.
I don't need a bush.
Well, the thing is this. Okay, let me just be real. Okay, so the bottom line is this. How would you know that prior? You know what I mean? It's like at that point, you're already, you know what I mean? Like, you guys are already like involved, and it's like, you're gonna be like, no, I'm sorry, we're good. Or is it gonna be, hey, I don't know. Like, how do you figure that one out? I'm
So
curious.
we're talking about first dates, right?
We're talking anything, like just
yeah. So like when it happens a lot on first dates for me. So I'm just saying on my first date, and I discover that I'm like, like, okay, if I take care of myself, I expect my partners to take care of themselves because I do it for my partners. Because if it was just me, oh, boo, I wouldn't care. I would just let it go.
Yeah.
But I am well kept for a reason. I like it to be clean. I'm sorry, that's my thing.
Yeah.
It's just my physical preference.
Okay. All right, that's you. Okay.
Sorry.
I have Ken coming in. Go ahead.
Well, she kind of clarified, but I was just kind of buttressing to that to say that we're talking about this discussion began as first impressions. So first impressions, you're not going to know that information. But I do think, I don't know, for me, I don't know. I don't have any interest in being with a little baby bottom or anything. But it just, those are topics you later get into and you find an agreement in the middle. But I don't think that's something you just broach on oh, hey, by the way, no, that's not on the first date. And I don't know how, okay, anyway, yeah, no, but that's later on. If you're even, that's like, if you care about it.
Everybody's different, right? So that's later on for you, right? So for her, that's important. No problem. For me, like I told you, it's the nails, it's the teeth, it's how you treat people. Like that is my jam. And I've seen guys where they're like, oh, it's just perfect. They're just on it. Like they're just on it. Picking up, open the door for random women for that. Like, oh, and picking up the suitcases for older women. Me not having to tell them to do it. They just do it. Like, that's beautiful. To me, that's being a gentleman, and that's a huge pet peeve for me. All right, next question. Let's move on. And thank you all for, getting in and be honest. The more honest you are, the better, because it makes a good show and then people can relate to you. So don't be ashamed to say whatever. I'm an open-minded person. You tell me whatever and people will appreciate you for it. Next one. Hold on. What? Oh, this is a good one. I read this one and I started laughing. Okay. What's something that would prompt you to end the date early? What is something that will prompt you to end the date early? Like something that's just like, oh no, I'm about to leave because this is not working. And as Americans, or Americans, I guess you could say, we're too nice. We're just too, depending on, I'll sit it out. Okay, maybe they didn't mean it like that. We like make excuses for people. But what's something that's like, no, done. This conversation's over. Arian, go ahead.
It's going to be farting and burping. If you're farting and burping through the whole, like you comfortable, like you lift up your leg and fart, because I've heard of that happening, like it's a wrap. I'm not going to be interested. Nope. And I know that might be minor to some, but it's still minor to me, but it's enough for me to still feel like it's going to be something that makes me feel like that's your norm. If you're just meeting me for the first time and you're comfortable doing that,
nope.
Nah, we good.
That we're good. I don't like that. That to me, it's not on the first date. That's disrespectful. You know what I mean?
I mean, I get it, because I get it. We all got to burp and fart at some point, right?
Please
can you
briefly. It's not about like
or can you
like
or can you
like
I mean, yeah. Thank you. God. Don't just belch out a good old party bellow or a fart and then think like, no, there's no excuse me. There's nothing said. You're just. Exactly. And then you're doing it all night or whenever the date is. If the date is in the daytime, you're doing it all day. No, we're good.
No, we good. Ken, what about you?
I think for me, the manners is a big deal. So, and the courtesy and how they treat others. Yep. So that's a huge thing for me.
Yeah, too.
I want to see people. You don't have to open the door for me or that kind of stuff. But I did have a date once. Once upon a time. So I offered to drive because I'm a control freak. So picked him up. We went to a nice steakhouse. I got, I was dealing with the valet, keys and all that. He gets out of the vehicle and goes in the restaurant. Doesn't wait for me. Doesn't hold the door, even hand it to me. Is not waiting. At least wait outside the door and let's go in. And next thing I know, I'm going, so I looked at the valet and I'm going, well, what are you doing tonight? Because I'm single. And so I literally, I began to walk in the restaurant because it was at Fleming's and I love Fleming's. But then I decided, no, I'm not doing this. So I turned back around, I went to the valet, tipped him, got my car and left. And this dude had a gall to text me, asking me, where are you? Yeah. And I said, oh, shit, I'm halfway home. What do you mean? And I said, well, obviously you didn't want me there with you.
Yeah.
You went on. And he literally was sitting at the table. And I'm going, hello? What about me?
Yeah.
So then his big question was, well, who's paying for dinner?
What?
And I'm going, so my response was, so one, you asked me out, so that's your treat.
Yeah.
I go and paid the valet and then left when you left me outside.
Exactly.
Three, I really don't give a fuck. You can wash dishes for all I care. He's like, well, I didn't bring any money.
Oh, well.
You should have waited.
Oh, well. Okay, that doesn't make any sense to me. How are you going to invite somebody on a date and then not bring any money?
Exactly.
I'm really confused by that one.
And even if you assume that they're paying it, you better. But my mama didn't raise no fool.
That's right.
You better go on because you don't know how they're going to leave you.
Yeah.
I've known friends that have got left at the table with the bill.
Yeah. And
I'm going, whoa, what the hell? She was like, oh yeah, he walked out and left me holding the bill. She said she had no money. She had to call. She actually called 4 of us because none of us had enough money. But we went and bailed her out. But it was just ridiculous. I'm just like, no, you don't go without. And if a guy invites you somewhere that you can't afford, or a girl invites you somewhere that you can't afford, you need to say no.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get stuck in the end.
All right, let me move on. Thank you so much for that. That story is like crazy. Veronica, go ahead and jump in.
Okay, so what was the question? Repeat it one more time so I can know I make sure I answer correctly.
So what would be the prompt for you to end the date early? This is your first date.
So I was a college student last semester. A guy said, oh, I have my own house. I'm a lawyer, blah, blah. Like, I make all this money. Like, he was talking about all his money, which I don't care. Like, whatever. You make money, whatever. I don't care. But, I mean, I could always pay for my meals as well. I would never say, like, I can cover the shit I order. It's like, fair. I get it. But we went to breakfast. Our bill was only $28. And he asked to split the bill. I'm sorry. When it comes to a first date, girl, I have the upper hand. Like, I'm sorry. The reason why I say that is because I meet a lot of guys who I have no interest in. I try to meet them. I try to see if I like them. Yeah. And it's like, and when I met him, I was like, I don't know. Like, it's a catfish kind of situation. You show me all these cool pictures of you being outgoing. Yeah. You're a fucking introvert and you are boring as fuck. I'm sorry if Ariana's walking around, but it's like, it's annoying.
Yeah.
So I don't even know how much I even like you physically or as a person. Yeah. And you're a lawyer saying you have all this money and you can't pay $30.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
Okay. So after he asked to split the bill, I'm like, boo-boo, I can pay the whole bill because I'm that kind of person. And I'm working part-time. So if I can pay this bill and I feel undervalued as a person. I feel like he didn't like me enough to comp the bill.
Yeah.
It's a cheap ass bill. It's not expensive.
Yeah.
When I like somebody, if I take a girl out and I like her, even if I don't like her, but I invited her because I'm bisexual and I'll take women out, I will pay the bill.
Yeah.
So it's like, what? And
Yeah.
then he's like, I had a great date, and text me later. I'm like, you're blocked.
Good for you, because that's just like unacceptable. To me, that's just unacceptable.
Don't
That's the biggest thing. Why are you bragging about having all this money? Because that tells me that you're going to take care of this. So don't tell me that. Just say, hey, we're going to go Dutch. Is that cool? Like, yeah, no problem. But don't tell me, like, as we're sitting down, oh, we're going to split the bill, right?
Oh, no,
don't do that to me. To me, that's disrespectful. It's like,
he waited till it came. Yeah. He waited quietly until I said, oh, do you want to split this? And I'm not an expensive date. I do Starbucks for dates because they're super cheap and easy.
Yeah, exactly.
I do cheap breakfast. I look for if I can cover my ass. I make sure I can cover my ass. That's all I care about. So I don't know. Sorry.
No, you're good. Let's go ahead and move on to Lauren. Lauren, go ahead. What would prompt you to end the date early?
I think basically everybody's already said it, kind of manners, but not just like how they treat wait staff and workers and stuff, but also how they treat me. Like if they're just expecting me to get things for them, I'm out real fast. Like if they don't use any manners, they don't say please, they don't say thank you, they just want me to pay for everything, then I'm gone. Like I'll just end it right there. I'll be like, you know what, this was okay. I'm gonna leave. Like
I can see you doing that, Lauren, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, for sure. How you get treated is a big one. What about Arian? Go ahead. And then Ken.
I'm just gonna add in because first of all, I was jumping up with Ken because I was like, I'm not knocking anything Ken did. There is no way in hell you just gonna leave. Oh, you already went in? Oh, you sat down. Oh, you comfortable. And you asked me out?
Yeah.
We good. That's gonna be my phrase. That's if your notes are ready. We good. All right, I'm out. And I haven't even left the valet yet. All right, bounce. Ken was nice enough to answer the phone. I don't even have to answer that phone.
Yeah, nope. I wouldn't answer the phone either.
You went MIA on me when you went straight into that restaurant. I'm gonna go MIA on you on this phone.
Yep.
Nope.
Yep, that's right. Nope.
And going back to what Veronica said, yes, if you gonna high side and be highfalutin and act like you got all the money in the world, I'm gonna expect you to pay. And that's not me. But I've also learned to bring my own money because I've had that happen to me where somebody did invite me out and then told me after everybody done ate, oh, I don't got no money. Well, I'm not gonna be washing no dishes. So I'm good. I got me. I don't ever go broke. Nope. I also believe in bringing money. Yep.
Unbelievable. Yeah, for real. That is I cannot with people. Like, how you gonna come to a dinner? Remember remember the church we used to be a part of, Veronica and Arian? And remember when we went out to eat? And it'd be such a drama. Like, okay, who had this?
Who's doing this? Who's got this?
The bill. People don't got no money. Nobody brought enough for a tip. It was just a mess.
Oh, a whole hot mess.
I remember that. It was just so crazy. All right, let's go on. Let's move on. Ken, you wanted to jump in and add to that?
Well, no, I was just going to say that I'm not sure exactly where in Veronica's situation it happened, but when you see signs that you are not comfortable, you need to back out. You need to go ahead and back out. You need to have your own self-respect and respect for that person, regardless of what you do or don't think. Respect your humanity enough to say, you know what, I don't think this is a good idea. And yes, it sucks. I've had it come from both sides. I've had to do it. I've had people do it with me where, it's like, I'm just not feeling this.
Yeah.
I just don't think this is a good idea. Or you could say, you know what, let's go and see what happens. However, break it into a Dutch date. But my thing about Dutch dating is that disclose it, discuss it.
Yeah.
And agree to it. That's the thing, because I agree that, like, if I ask somebody out, I'm taking care of it.
Yeah.
Even with Jamie now, even if I say, you know what, Jamie, we're going to do this. I take care of it because I'm the one who said it.
Yeah.
So, and then if he comes up with something that he wants to do, he takes care of it.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a give and take situation. And I think you got to think about the fact that a first date or first meeting or even your first few dates,
yeah,
you're setting the example and you're showing your best side.
Yeah.
So, and this is what I was talking about earlier, Kim, when you asked me that question about the junior high school students.
Yeah.
Show your best side. Show the best you've got to give, because I think that's the problem with everybody. We don't give our best side.
Yeah.
So I think we have to give that. And I think that's what happens when you tell somebody, when you tell somebody, you know what, I'm not feeling this. However, I committed to going. Why don't we do Dutch?
Yeah.
Or, you know, I'm not feeling this right now, but I'm willing to scope it out. But just be honest about it. Just say, you know what, hey, whatever.
You can kind of tell by yeah, definitely. Thank you. You can kind of tell too if somebody, you know, isn't sure if they're gonna pay or not. I've had that happen, and I'm just very honest and upfront in the beginning. Hey, on Friday, do you want to go Dutch? And the response is usually like, oh no, I got this. Or I had a guy laugh and say, why are you asking me that? Like, of course I'm paying, you know, or, you know, that kind of thing. And of course I'm like, okay, thanks. Of course I'm playing. Great. Awesome. But the guys that are like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, we'll go Dutch. They're like, it's fine. Like, I don't care. You know, I just tell them ahead of time because I don't want to be feeling stupid at the table, you know, like, oh, okay, now I got to ask this really awkward question. You know what I mean? So, yeah, so I just like to be honest at the beginning and be done with it. All right, last question for the night. This one might raise some eyebrows, but it's a good question. You know, it's good. And remember what I said about circus. Have you ever used someone for circus? And if you have, did you eventually tell them, hey, this was just playtime. This was just circus. Like, that's it. You know, did you eventually tell them, or did they already know going in? Ken, why don't you talk to us?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's a couple of straight people that, yeah. Mm-hmm. You and I both know them. Mm-hmm. And I was fine with the situation, and we were both honest about it. But yeah. I think it has to be that from the start. I think you just had to be honest to say, you know what? And it was more on their side that they had to be honest because they weren't able to deal with those emotions. Yeah. So it was more, okay, I'm comfortable with that. And I was okay with it. Hey, marks on my belt.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
So, yeah.
You just feel like you said to be honest ahead of time.
Right. I think you really do. Honest. It was not my preference and it was not my desire, but it was okay because we were, specifically with one, we were honest from the start.
Okay.
So with another one, it was kind of like, okay, you know, I don't know, you know. Yeah, I was a little more uncomfortable with that. So I was more comfortable with the look. I don't know, I think, I'm not sure, but hey, it happened, that's cool.
Yeah.
But I think my biggest thing, and it back to the whole wedding ring thing, if you're honest about it and everybody agrees to it, fine.
Yeah.
But if you're not and you're hiding or slipping around, that's where there's an issue.
That's where it becomes a drama. Yeah. Thank you. Arian, and then Veronica.
Cool. I would say for me, I went into both situations knowing what it was going to be. Like one was definitively like a friends with benefits. And yeah, the other one just was supposed to be a one night and then turned into 8 months of beautiful bliss. But that's what it was. It was just sex. It worked. It worked for that moment in time. So I think that's how it has to work for me because I need to know those things. And I don't want to have, I mean, naturally when you go into just having sex, there could be an awkward moment there. Well, to alleviate that, let's be upfront with each other. What we doing? You know, and then that works for me because then what if I'm not trying to catch no feelings and I don't want you catching feelings because then I'm going to want to dip out. Like it's just, So to me, communicating it was my best approach with the two people where I just went into just having sex. It was no relationship. This is just going to be a sex vibe. Yeah. So
I'm going to ask a follow-up question to everybody from that. Okay. Go ahead, Veronica.
Oh, so I've been used a lot for circus. I wish that they were just honest because it would help me emotionally. And I'm not the kind of person that's very physical that way. So that's why it takes such a big turmoil in my heart, sorry. But I've also like talked to a guy that was in an open relationship, and we were having fun for a while, which was, I feel like, I was at a good space for me to do that, but that, like, normally I can't do it. I try to be open-minded. I try to like just enjoy it, but it's hard. Like, I need an emotional connection. So with, like, I'm a demisexual. Without that, it tears me apart. I can't do it. So, but
thank you.
That was my response.
Yeah. No, that's good. And does it work? That's my follow-up question for all of you. Does it work? I feel it doesn't work. That's just how I feel, because I think, you know, there's too many, there's a lot there that I could unpack, but it doesn't work because somebody's always going to catch feelings. Someone's always going to get hurt. Oh, I really like this person. I'm starting to really like this person. Why haven't they called me back at a certain time? Why aren't we hanging out on Friday? Like, those kind of things start to get in the mix. And to me, it just doesn't work. Like, that's just me. Like, if you're a person and it works, good for you, no problem. I have a friend who's openly poly, and that's totally fine. That's that person's prerogative. They said it works. We've argued till the cows come home about that, but it works apparently in this particular situation. So I can't say it doesn't work, but in my case, it doesn't work. All right, so let's go to, I think, who's next after that? Arian, go ahead.
Yeah, no, it don't work. That's why I said there was 2 instances, because at the end of the day, there has been one instance where I got caught in my feelings, and there was another one that got caught in their feelings. And with the other one that got caught in their feelings, what was funny is because we originally agreed, of course, and variables will change, but how is it that you then want to date me, but then go MIA because you want to entertain somebody else? So then I go completely MIA, and then you're like, well, where did you go? No, that's just a weird mix. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
So I don't, ultimately for me, it doesn't work. Ultimately, at the end of the, down the road, I want a relationship. I want to develop a connection. It's fine and dandy and fun for the moment, but to me, it's temporary for me.
Yeah. Okay. What about Ken?
So it worked and it didn't work. So it worked in the first instance.
Yeah.
With the first person, because we were both honest. We were both, he's like, okay, this is the way it is. This is what I really want, but this is working.
Yeah.
So it was fine. The second instance, there wasn't honesty. And I think if there's honesty, it can work if both people agree. And I think that's the big thing. That's where I go back to the whole, the whole wedding ring issue. And it's all about integrity. It's all about honesty. It's all about, who you are, who you stand for, and what you stand for.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of, it worked when it was honest. It did not work when it wasn't.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about Lauren? What's your thoughts on that?
I think for most people it doesn't work, because I think sometimes even when you think you're being honest, you're not. And I've had people kind of catch feelings a lot harder than myself. And then once that happens, they kind of already start to look at you in that romantic light, and you can't back out really as easily. And it starts to become like this jealous, toxic mess.
Yeah.
And so I feel like unless somebody knows themselves really, really well and knows exactly what they want and what they need, then even honesty can sometimes still make things really messy, because they'll be like, I really like you, let's make this more. And you're like, oh no, I don't want that. And it just shatters everything. And then sometimes people are interesting and they don't want to let that go. They don't want to take that answer. They want to like push for more.
Yeah.
So I think for the most part, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But everybody's different.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Well, we have Will joining us. We'll have him kind of connect in a minute. All right. So, Erin, expand on your thoughts. You said, I agree, honesty and communication is key. Can you
I was agreeing with
that?
No, cool. I was agreeing with Kim.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, in a sense, I feel like in a sense, I see where Lauren's coming from, not to debunk her, but I agree with Ken. Like, if you are truly being honest with yourself, and honest with the person, you know what I mean, then it has a chance of working. But also communication. Yeah. Do know we're human beings, we evolve and we change. So if something changes, say that a little bit more early on, because I think sometimes kind of what Lauren was talking about right now, they get in their feelings. So they already at that point. They were already having the thoughts and it was running through their head. They hadn't communicated that. So now you would develop a whole relationship in your head, but you never communicated that with that person to see where they would have been at with it. So to me, just communicating and seeing where people stand. And then honestly, if we're going to be honest with each other, understand that when being honest and communicate doesn't mean you're going to get the answer you want, the answer you want to hear either, you know? So be, you know, I guess strong is not the word I'm trying to think of, but just be willing to step back if you know that's not for you. That's another thing, going back to honesty. If you being honest with yourself and you know this is not going to work for you, if you want a relationship with that person, but they don't want that relationship, then why stay? Why force something that wasn't intended to be forced? So still go back to honesty and communication.
Definitely. Ken, can you expand on that? And then
hey, Lauren, can you repeat the last part of your statement? Because I had a thought on it and then I got sidetracked.
Yes, if I remember it. Basically, I don't know. I think I said, like, you have to know yourself really well, or else somebody. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, that was my thing. The reason it worked for me, the one time it did work, is because we both knew what we wanted.
Yeah.
And that was the big thing for me, is that I knew that I wanted more, but I knew that I would accept what I could get at that point. And, you know, honestly, I have to admit, the first one, and you know who I'm talking about, was Bell. The second one, it could have been a lot more, but they weren't ready. And that was the hard part, is that they wouldn't admit they weren't ready. And I thought they were. So that was the hard part. But I think it's all about communication, honesty, integrity. It's all the cruxes of our lives. It's all what we deal with every single freaking day, especially right now in the Corona era. You know, be honest about it. Be truthful. You know, we all talk about being, back in the 80s, it was all about being honest about your status about HIV.
Yeah.
So it's all about being honest about your Corona status or whatever else is going on. It doesn't have to be bad. It can be good.
Yeah.
But you be honest. Be real.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Thank you. Veronica?
Sorry. Okay. So for me, it's like, it doesn't work. Obviously, we talked about this earlier. Yeah. But what annoys me is these fucking assholes who try to make it work.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, you'll enjoy it, blah, blah. And I'm like, I do enjoy it, but then I hate that you leave right after.
Yeah.
It doesn't work for me.
Yeah, that's right.
Loud and clear. Yeah, sorry.
Right. No, that's great. No, you're just being real. That's the bottom line.
It's like, please do not try to convince a demisexual that it will work, because it won't work. We will be sad, we'll cry for hours, because it doesn't work for us.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, Will, thanks for joining us. I know you had a little bit of difficulty coming in, but so did you want to answer this particular question, or would you like to answer the next question? Why don't you unmute yourself? We'll go ahead and do another question. I did say that was the last one, but I lied. All right, go ahead, Will.
So I mean, I was just listening to some of the answers. As for the question, I mean, no, I haven't personally did that to anybody. You know, I try not to. I try to, you know, be kind of upfront. You know, like, hey, what this is, I'm looking for, I'm not looking for. So, you know, I haven't really. Like, I try not to do that. I wouldn't want someone to do that to me. So, like, that's kind of where I'm at with that.
But if you do, Will, are you honest with them in the beginning?
No, yeah. So no, I tell people, listen. So this is what this is.
Yeah.
Not really like if I'm, So so right now, like personally, I'm just like I'm chilling right now. So like anytime like I meet somebody, like we vibing, I tell them, listen, I'm not really looking to rush into anything seriously. Like
Yeah.
if something happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's cool. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But I try to let people know from the beginning, because I don't want I don't want somebody to do that to me. Want me
That's
to
true.
have
Yeah.
me all of my feelings on some Joe to see tip. So that's what I try to do. So
That's good. Yeah, I think that's important. I think like what to double back on what everybody is saying, honesty and communication is key, but I think that gets lost because selfishness gets in play. You want something like that's the bottom line is selfishness. If you're just out for you, you're out to get what you want out of somebody. You're not honest enough to be like, hey, like I actually don't see this being a relationship, but this is what I want. What do you want? It's not like it's never like that. It's usually from all the different experience people have told me about, of course my own as well, where it's just like this particular person, I don't care if you're male, female, whatever, both sides do it, right? Both sides do it.
Both.
Yeah, both sides sit there and lie to your face and say, "Oh no, I really want a relationship, and I really da 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 da, and yada yada yada," and it's just nonsense. I think the best thing, a big rule of thumb is just get to know that person first. Really get to know them. Spend that time thinking, is this person for real? Like, I don't see this person like being for real. Like I can tell it's all about what they want and not about me. And in the grand scheme of things, if you want to get married one day, you want somebody that is about you, right? And you're about them, and both of your needs are being met, right? Not just, oh, it's all about me. And if it is all about you, then we are no good. This will not work, right? So anyways, I had to say that spill. Go ahead, Ken.
No, I was going to say that actually almost cost me.
Mm.
So, because when Jamie and I met, so August 31 will be a year. But when he and I met, I literally was not, I was like, nope, okay. I almost didn't go to Austin to meet him. Then when I went, I came back going, and then I went back 2 days later or a day later.
Yeah.
But I almost didn't. I almost let my history stop me.
Yeah.
Gotta be careful with that. It's been said to me many times, and I never heard it until Jamie, is that you can't hold your past against me.
Mm.
So that's what we have to be careful of.
Yeah.
We got to be careful not to, move those feelings over to somebody else. Yeah, we had this experience. There's several experiences I've had that I wouldn't trade.
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't trade.
Yeah.
But there's many I would give away for free.
Yeah.
Actually, I might pay somebody to take those experiences.
Yeah.
But you have to be very careful because you don't want to walk away from the very thing that's going to be great, but you want to protect yourself from the things that are going to kill you.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Thank you for that. Now, our last question, I promise, is the last one. I kind of got carried away. Plus, Will just got here. He's got to enjoy this fun too, right? He has to answer a question. All right. So the last question, an audience member put in, and I didn't get through all the questions. They're all really good. The last one is this. What's one thing you are ashamed you did to make someone like you? That's all. That might take a minute to think about. And you might be too embarrassed to share it. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think myself. I would say something recent, but I can't think of anything recent. This is all like middle school, high school, just doing stupid stuff, I forgot. I think what I did was kind of reckless. Yeah, I did something reckless. Like, for instance, we were at this little party and people were jumping on the back of like an RV as it was moving. And we were just like, this is a small town and there's nothing to do, obviously. Jumping on passing vehicles, just being stupid. And that's what I did. And I did it because there was a guy there that, was a skateboarder and, kind of liked him. So just trying to do stupid stuff. I'm trying to think recently if I did anything, because I think as you get older, you start to feel more yourself, and you don't do anything or maybe you do. I don't know. What do you think, Ken? You put two on.
So I think when I was about 15, 16 years old, I thought I was the Dukes of Hazzard, and I jumped on my mom's car as she was driving down the driveway, and I got scars on my forehead even now from the ER visit. Yeah, so don't jump on moving cars. But one of the things I think I did to kind of impress somebody, because there were several years that I was doing very well with work and money and everything, and I think to compensate for my weight, I literally took this guy out. We were gone 12 hours in a limousine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Exactly. So money must have been really good then for 12 hours.
Oh, yeah. Really good. The money was even better than it is now. 12 hours in a limousine. So, and he would do these little things, and he took me to the Art of Shaving and took me to Neiman Marcus, but I was paying what, $250 an hour? Yeah, wow. Exactly. Yeah. So our little 12-hour date was about $3,600, I think.
Yikes.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I'm like, my heart's hurting right there for you.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my gosh, that's
yeah. So I mean, I think that was the stupidest thing I've done.
Okay.
But that was my thing. That was what made me feel good.
Yeah. At that time. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think it's a good question, but at the same time, you really have to think about it. And I think as of right now, like, I think we're all kind of like older. So we don't really do things. I don't know. Maybe some of us do. Maybe you're too scared to say. We don't really do things that are stupid and foolish and, that kind of stuff. I think that happens when you're younger. But again, to each his own. All right. Well, that's it for the questions for tonight. There are a lot, but we can't get to all of them tonight, unfortunately. But thank you for joining, everybody. And thank you, viewers, for tuning in as you always do every Friday. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you next Friday. Bye.